Welcome, everybody. We are so thrilled that you are joining us this evening. Thank you for joining us on a cold and snowy night here in Philadelphia, or wherever you are logging in from on this 7th night of Hanukkah. What a year it's been. 2020 has brought challenges that none of us could have imagined. It's been a year of pain, of loss, of fatigue. We've struggled with this virus and its implication on our communities. We've grieved loved ones lost and isolation as we face life challenges. And still, at PHP, our spirits continued to be buoyed by the light, the hope, the brilliance, the ingenuity of our kids, our families, and our team. So thank you to each of you for joining us. Emily, Devana, Elissa, John, Sandy, Michael, we are so thrilled. We know more people are coming. I see Marissa has joined. A big thanks. Oh, I see Laurel and Josephine. A big thanks to our board of trustees, to Hedra, Max, John, Calissa, Fernando, Maria, Chanel, for your unwavering commitment and your guidance. To our Hebrew Public family, we are so grateful to be a part of this network who leads by profound values, a charge for change, and just deep care for all. Thanks to our co-founders who are nothing short of heroic. Your spirit is incredible. Our team's commitment is inspiring, and we are so grateful for our family's partnership and their continued grace. And so to each of you, thank you for your contributions, your many, many words of encouragement, and for being our constant champions. So for those of you who I don't know, I am Emily Hurst, and I'm the proud Executive Director of Philadelphia Hebrew Public. And let me tell you, what a time to found a school. We are in our 2nd year, and we have now spent as much time in a remote world as we have actually in person. And while it has been really challenging, what we've seen is also extraordinary. Our team has come together to support each other. We've pulled more than a few all-nighters to make sure that every family has computers, knows how to use our programs, has access to reliable internet, has the resources they need and that they deserve. And we have seen our 4-, 5-, and 6-year-olds build community and support one another and grow tremendously in what are unimaginable odds. I am so proud to say that I think we have one of the strongest remote programs out there, and you'll learn a little bit more about it tonight. So don't just take it from me. But for now, I'm going to hand it over to PHP board member, Hebrew Public's president and CEO, and I think PHP's super fan, John Rosenberg.
Thank you, Emily. It is a pleasure to see all of you tonight. Really appreciate you joining to celebrate with us on what is, as Emily said, a uniquely challenging year. My organization, Hebrew Public, which supports Philly Hebrew Public and helped start it up with Emily Hurst's partnership a number of years ago, and the partnership of all of our board members. We support a bunch of schools in New York City. We work with an affiliated network of schools around the country, and I am uniquely proud of what Philadelphia Hebrew Public has accomplished. This is a school that's still a baby school in its 2nd year. The team, led by Elissa and Emily, has embodied agility and creativity, all the elements that you would want in a startup school that's really destined for greatness and is already well on its way to it. This school's over-enrolled at a time when many families this year are opting out of traditional public school options in the region and across the country. And they've gone above and beyond. So even while delivering a terrific remote program for families, we have brought on site at our location all a program those families where adults need to go to work, where there can't be a responsible home with the children have a place to go. And that program has been nearly free for almost all of the families since we got it started up. During a year when democracy has sometimes felt under threat, we've been modeling democracy with our 5-, 6-, and 7-year-olds who had an opportunity to campaign and ultimately vote and express their voice in a school-wide election campaign for their mascot. And next week, the staff of the school, who again continue to just the ball out of the park, are going to be delivering winter break food boxes to all of our families with a lot of support from our generous donors so that the children that we serve will have healthy and delicious meals as they face the holiday break. I could go on at great length about all of the amazing things about Philadelphia Hebrew Public. I'll end my brief remarks by just saying that even while all of these basic needs are being met by the school, and the heroic efforts of school staff to support families and our wonderful families to support each other, at the same time, we've continued to deliver instruction in modern Hebrew to expose children to learn about Israel and its people and its history, and continue to build relationships of support and caring across all of the different families that we serve who come from all over Philadelphia. Emily, back to you.
Thanks, John. So I'm now really proud to introduce you to my partner in crime, the best founding head of school anyone could ever wish for, a woman who has pulled multiple all-nighters in this infamous weekend in March when we had to suddenly close so she could reimagine and design an online school, train our team the following Monday, and then make sure our kiddos and our families were back connected that Tuesday, and we only missed one day of school. So I'll present to you our one and only Elissa Young.
Thank you, Emily, and thank you all for joining us this evening. We have had quite a journey since founding last year, and while this year has brought tremendous challenges, I just continue to be incredibly humbled and inspired by the creativity and strength that our team and our entire staff shows up to school with each and every day. This summer, as a staff, we kicked off reflecting on our founding year, and we had the opportunity to share what we were most proud of. And my response was, without a doubt, building this team, and this continues to be true today. In a year that feels close to impossible, our team continues to step up to the plate and just truly shine. And while we hear many folks across the country talking about this year as a wash, or just being too hard to overcome, our teaching staff sees this year as more important than ever, really reflecting their unwavering commitment to our mission and our students and our families. And I see this every day. I see it in morning meeting in the ways that students greet one another. I see this in math, in the ways that kids are grappling through number stories and applying their learning to their own life and what they know to be true. I hear this in reading as kids talk about the skills they're using and the strategies they're using to solve tricky words. And I hear this in our conversations in second grade as we really work hard to pull the main idea from texts across genres. I've also just been remarkably proud of the ways that our teachers are engaging students in conversations about where they see mirrors of themselves and see windows into new worlds and adventures and learning in the books we read, and also in the stories that we share with one another. And most importantly, I see this in the joy that our teachers bring and create for students every day, and hopefully you'll get to have a sneak peek into that this evening. The day before our very first day of school, our staff shared our hopes and dreams for this year, and we did that same exact activity with kids in our first week of school, and we hope that this is a tradition that we can continue to do each and every year. And it's really our collective hopes and dreams that continue to propel me through this difficult year, and sometimes day to day when things feel really hard. And I wanted to share some of these hopes and dreams with you this evening. So the hopes and dreams that I shared with my team this year were to be a strong community where each of us can see and be seen, and one where we are all teachers and learners. To facilitate and create learning experiences for students that celebrate who they are and who they want to be, and to grow as a team. I hope and dream that we practice and push one another so that we continue to grow to be the best versions of ourselves for our students and our families, and I hope that we journey toward justice and healing. I also have a couple of other teacher hopes and dreams that I wanted to share with you this evening. Mr. Thomas shared that his hope and dream was to maximize students' potential and his own through this unfamiliar yet powerful alternative learning space, which is a true reflection of the way that our teaching staff sees this year. Miss Mancuso's hopes and dreams were, as a staff member, to feel part of a supportive and joyful, authentic staff that holds one another accountable, while also allowing space to acknowledge that this is the hardest job in the world and that none of us will get it right every day. As a teacher, her hope and dream was to be that adult for her students, hoping that when they look back on their school careers, that they will remember her as someone who made them truly believe that they are brilliant, because they are. And I know that we have a couple of students on with us this evening, and that is certainly true. And as a human being, to expect greatness and to show herself grace at the same time. We also are showcasing a number of student hopes and dreams this evening, and there were so many of them. Some serious, some silly to us, but feel probably very real to them as kids. And then some really specific to the challenging experience they're having with remote learning. And so here you see Yofi's hope and dream is that there is no more COVID, and that is certainly one hope and dream that I share with him. Kenny's hopes and dreams were that her cat Cheeto becomes a human, and we understand that too, because 2020 certainly needs some dreamers. Here we have Mesa's hope and dream to learn Hebrew, and he's certainly on his way to doing that. And then Rayon's hope and dream is that his classroom is a giant robot that will protect us all from earthquakes and corona. Nicole shared with us that her hopes and dreams are that one day Black Lives Matter. And Haley's hopes and dreams are to become the president. And in moments that feel hard, sometimes feel too hard, I remember the hopes and dreams of our school community, and that is truly bringing us joy and light each and every day.
Thank you, Elissa. I love returning to those. So now I am incredibly pleased to introduce you to Raven Jordan, one of our heroes, our first grade teacher, and this year's first grade team lead. The summer before Raven joined us, she actually traveled to Israel through our Talma partnership program to teach English for a month to third graders. On top of her extraordinary teaching, Raven is actually now also pursuing at nights and weekends a master's in educational improvement and transformation at Drexel. Raven, I don't know how you do it. Raven, we are in awe of you and the joy that you've translated from your physical classroom to your virtual classrooms. Our students are so lucky to have you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much, Emily, for all those kind words. And I got a shout out to one of my kids, Josephine, who's here. I'm so happy you're here, Josephine. I was a little bit nervous about speaking, but I got to see your face, and that made me feel a lot better because it's just like a normal day. So hi again. My name's Raven Jordan. I came to PHP as a founding teacher last year. And as Emily mentioned a few summers ago, unfortunately not this past summer, but we were planning on it, but hopefully next summer, I was able to teach English to third graders in Israel, in Jerusalem actually, which I found through PHP. It was an awesome experience that I never really imagined I would have the opportunity to do. But my time with PHP and my journey started a bit before that summer. I stumbled upon Philadelphia Hebrew Public at a teacher career fair type of thing in March of 2019. I spoke to Alyssa briefly and immediately had a really good feeling about the school that technically didn't fully exist yet. Later on, whenever I had my interview, I remember thinking about how easily I was able to align myself with the values of Hebrew Public, specifically around the Olam values of lifelong learning and making a difference. I knew that I had always wanted to be at a school where global citizenship and community were important, and I felt that PHP believed in that as well. I think it was during our time together as a staff in New York City, where we went for a professional development for several days, and the whole network was there. But that was a time when I really got to bond with the other educators at our school, and things just kind of clicked because I just knew and felt that I was surrounded by people who had a really similar outlook on education as myself. And I've always believed that you join an organization because you're called to that organization's mission or vision, but ultimately you stay for the people and the connections and relationships you make. And both those things were able to happen since my time at PHP and our students. I mean, I don't know where to start talking about our students. They make me laugh every single day. And I may be a bit biased, but I just know that our students are the best there is. They're so great and eager to learn, even with this huge and oftentimes very challenging new virtual environment. Students still show up every day as their authentic selves. And I mean, a matter of fact, just a few weeks ago during a reading lesson, one of my students was having a really hard time figuring out what the word setting meant. And then another student, completely unprompted, just comes off mute and says, "You got this, keep going, you can do it." And technically she wasn't supposed to be calling out because we do have some norms about, about raising your hand before you come off mute, but I had to let that one slide because that's just one example of how amazing our kids are. They're so supportive of each other, and they're often just, they're so forgiving when someone makes a mistake. And I just think it's beautiful. And seeing them every day just gives me a lot of hope that these kids really are going to make a huge difference in the world, because they're already doing that in our small yet growing PHP community. And I have so much faith in what they are and will be capable of in their futures. And I hope that every single person that meets them see that too. So thanks again for coming to our event tonight, and myself and the rest of the class of Beersheba are wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Raven. Glad we have a couple of representatives from Beersheba tonight. So I am now thrilled to welcome Emily Gilby, one of our founding parents who's joined us this year, and her daughter, Devana. So Devana joined our first grade this fall, and Devana and Emily, though we've only met you a few times in person and they've been brief, you already are part of our family, and we are so blessed and lucky to have you.
Thank you so much. I am really thrilled to be part of PHP. You guys have done an amazing job. I hear it even with my daughter, just listening on social media, how some of these schools aren't as organized as PHP. And I'm just like really ecstatic about having Devana be part of PHP. I'm so nervous. I don't know why I'm so nervous. But yeah, one of the reasons I chose PHP was because they were teaching the Hebrew language. And Devana's learning Spanish right now. So I'm like, the more languages, the more well-rounded she'll be in the future. So that was one of the reasons. And also because of the location. As you know, Philadelphia, North Philadelphia, where we're from, is not really a great neighborhood, but East Falls, on the other hand, is. So I think that was another reason why we chose PHP. Devana will tell you something totally different, and I'll let her just really briefly tell you why. Devana, first of all, do you like PHP?
I don't like PHP. I love PHP.
And what was the reason? Why did you want to go to this school? What happens in 8th grade?
You go to Israel.
Yeah, so that was one of the reasons. When I did the research, I saw that New York had a really good reputation. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, well, PHP in Philadelphia is starting. They're fresh. I'm sure they're going to follow suit. So why not get in there while we can? And I was so grateful when I got the call and said Devana was chosen. I immediately filled out the paperwork. I'm like, yes, you're in, Debbie, you're going to PHP. So we're just happy. The teachers, the staff, everyone I have come across has been wonderful. And I just couldn't be more proud. And I look forward to the next 6 years, 7 years. So yeah, thank you guys so much. This school is wonderful. I appreciate you guys all.
Thank you, Emily and Devana. We are just so lucky to have you. So to close out our time together, we're going to have, we want to share a little bit of what we get to see every day. And so before we light our candles and kind of a ceremonial lighting of the night, we want to share a little bit of a video.
hopes and dreams is working together with people who are making art in art class. And no matter our color is. I hope to write school class. My dream is to make friends.
Goldfish. How many pets did I see at the store? Who heard a clue number? Who saw a clue number through their telescope? Ooh, let me see. Lara, what clue number did you hear?
Do you know what tools they use to dig up the fossils? Paleontologists have to be very careful not to damage the bone. PHP students. So who I'm voting for is Mr. Turtle, the turtle, Beastman Turtle, or whatever you want to call him. I'm thankful for my parents for taking care of me when I was a baby. What I'm thankful for is my PHP school. See you soon, teachers and gals. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I saw Raven smiling ear to ear. So thank you for joining us this evening. It really meant the world for you to join one more Zoom. I know that is no small ask. I would love if you have a candle with you to join me in lighting it right now. So though we may be apart, may we all see this light and feel this light together. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays. We are so grateful for you, and we cannot wait to see what 2021 will bring. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you.
Happy holidays. Thank you so much. Bye.
Hold on.
Thank you, everybody.
Go ahead.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone. I love you.
We love you too.
Thank you, guys.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Bye.
Hanukkah, everyone.
Be
That was
safe.
beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In my mouth.